Cryptocurrency.
Welcome to the Family Cash Machine. And we're going to go ahead and start our daily webinar. And see, we got people coming in here. And I want to go ahead and make sure everybody is understanding what's going on in the cryptocurrency world. It has created a huge frenzy around the world. And right now, not so much, because people are trend followers. And so they're looking at the fact that the numbers are down. And again, for the last 3-4 months, Bitcoin has incredibly increased its value more than any other commodity ever in the world, and faster than any other commodity ever in the world in the shortest amount of time. Now, I come from the commodity exchange market. I traded on a commodity exchange, and I've never seen a commodity ever in the history of the world that I've been studying. And I didn't just trade in the little period that I traded in. I had to study history of trading. I had to study the history of different commodities to understand how to trade. So in the commodities market, in my experience, in my lifetime, I haven't seen any commodity other than Bitcoin accelerate at the rate that it did in a short amount of time that it did. It's a phenomenal. A phenomenal is something that you can't measure. You can't measure a phenomenon. You know, nobody knew Michael Jackson's album would sell, 100 million copies and still counting. There's no way to. I mean, I'm sure he knew he was working on a masterpiece, but no one knew that Marvin Gaye's "What's Going On" album would be, the greatest work that he's ever done. I mean, these are phenomenals. You can't evaluate. There's nothing to evaluate a phenomenon. There's nothing, because it is of itself unique. And so I listen to all of these quote unquote scholars talk about Bitcoin and talk about what it's going to do. And some of the people out there listen to this, and I'm noticing on some of my emails, people are sending me kind of nasty stuff like, this thing is bubbling, and why are you putting this message out, and why are you talking about this stuff? And it's okay if you guys don't want to be aboard this journey. It's fine with me. It doesn't bother me at all. Just sit on the sideline and watch the football game as it plays out, and you sit on the sideline. I just never been a guy to sit on the sideline. I've always been in the game, and I always wanted to be, in the action. So I'm going to enjoy in this little experiment that's going on called Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and digital currencies and decentralized peer-to-peer transactions. I'm going to be engaged in the game, and I'm not going to sit on the side and be the water boy that talks about every little ball that someone drops, or every ball that you guys don't throw right, or every time you miss a pattern. I'm going to be in the game. How about that? So there's a lot of people right now that are, I'm not going to say skeptics. They're beyond skeptics. They're critics. And so, and some people, that's what they do. They criticize. But again, I stand firm that this is one of the greatest exchanges of wealth ever in the history of the world. And I'm not going to sit on the sideline and watch this phenomenon get by me and get by the people that I love and the people who I have the ability to help. And anybody who has a hearing ear and a seeing eye, I invite to the Family Cash Machine to come and join us in this journey that we're going on. And that's why I put that picture behind me today, because I feel like this is a journey, and when you're on a journey, you don't know what it's going to entail. You don't have a clue of a bear or a coyote or a werewolf or whatever's going to come in your path, but you're set on the journey. One of my favorite movies was Follow the Yellow Brick Road. This is a classic. It's The Wizard of Oz. And The Wizard of Oz is a mythical movie to me, because there's a guy sitting behind a curtain who's making all these announcements, and you think that he's this big guy, and this guy is a fraud. This guy is putting a projection out that he's not. And that's how this financial system is set up. The Wizard of Oz, or Oz, is sitting behind the curtain, and he's giving you guys propaganda as to how money works, as to how finances works, but that's not really how it works. And many of you guys who are on the journey, you need a heart. You need a heart because many people don't have the courage to endure something of change. Many people don't want to be brave enough to explore a possible different financial system. They don't have a heart. And some of you guys need a brain. There are some people in the world that actually need a brain. And I would be glad to take that trip with you on the Wizard of Oz to make sure you get a brain. How about that? And then there's some people out there that need, you just need courage. You need courage, man, to be able to challenge what you think is truth, what you think is real. And I didn't say what is real, what you think is real. Because one of the most challenging things to do is to challenge something that's a belief system that you've created as a belief system. Now, I'm going to say something. If you say something enough times, a person will believe it. And I'm gonna give you guys an example. Everybody is talking about Bitcoin is gone now, and they repeat that over and over again. And some people want to believe that, but just because that's something you repeat and something that you want to believe doesn't mean it's true. Okay, now what is it that's making cryptocurrency? And I want to share this with you guys. What is it that's making cryptocurrency such a talked about subject? I just read today that Tiberius, a company called Tiberius out of Switzerland, is going to be creating their own cryptocurrency, and they're going to use precious metals to back that cryptocurrency. Whoa, that sounds very, very dangerous, because we just had Venezuela back their cryptocurrency by petrol oil, and the U.S. Department of Treasury said that that would be an act of war. Basically, they're violating international sanctions, and they don't want anybody doing that. Why? Because the dollar is backed by oil, and so that would threaten the value of the dollar, which is already being threatened. So here's a company out of Switzerland that wants to back their cryptocurrency by precious metals. Everybody wants to get aboard this cryptocurrency frenzy. Okay, regardless of what the little people with no brains and no heart and no courage are saying, the big guys want in. The big guys with heart, the big guys with money, the big guys with power and courage, they want in this industry. They're coming to this industry by the droves. And so it leads me to think, okay, now they're saying, this Tiberius company, that they're going to make sure that they have fulfilled all the regulations in order to start their cryptocurrency. Well, that's an oxymoron, because first of all, the regulators are regulating away from an independent system like cryptocurrency. They're regulating people away from becoming independent. They're regulating in a manner to continue to perpetuate the same system. That's what regulators are made for. They're made to regulate and perpetuate the status quo. So how are you going to go to the regulators to ask them permission to regulate you into a disruption of the structure that's going on, that they are what I want to say, commissioned to regulate, to perpetuate? It's not going to work. So the first thing we learn in cryptocurrencies is that this system was created to solve a problem. Now, what was the problem? The problem was first the double spend problem on the internet. The internet had a problem that it was not really created to transact money. And that's why when the internet was created, it was really created to be an informational highway, for information to be able to transact from person to person to person, information. And it was kind of like a problem in a sense that you were not able to send original files. And so when I send an email to Winslow, I'm sending him a copy of a PDF file, and I still have that file in my email. If you ever send anything through an email, you notice you still have a copy of it. So with money, that doesn't work. It's not, I can't send you $100 and keep that $100 and still keep it. No, that's not going to work. So how do we not double spend the money? That was a problem on the internet. So again, the internet wasn't created for that. The internet was created to be able to share information. And that's why they call it the informational highway. Well, when that problem was solved, the double spend problem, before that problem was solved, we had to have a third party, a bank, PayPal, MoneyGram, or one of these exploiting entities that controlled the deal. Not only did they charge you for the deal, but they also dictated the terms of that deal, okay? And this is how things have been going, and we've gotten used to that. Well, when Satoshi Nakamoto, this person, this anonymous person, or whoever this persons were, or woman, or whoever this entity was or is, created this system, they emailed a bunch of people and said, hey, I have an idea that I want to create a system where we can do a peer-to-peer transaction without a trusted third party. And a lot of people said, wow, man, this sounds interesting. This is quite interesting. And the people who understood programming, they saw that way different than the average person like me and you saw it. And they understood the functionality and the technology behind actually making this reality. And so they created it. They created it together. And as soon as this thing was actually created, the first, I think Bitcoin went out to a guy named Szabo. What's the guy's name, Dave? I think it was Szabo.
Szabo.
Szabo was one of the scientists working on it. He actually was one of the ones that had received the first Bitcoin. After that, Satoshi Nakamoto, whoever this guy was, disappeared. Wow. Totally disappeared. Nobody has ever been able to find him. FBI, Homeland Security, Secret Service, all of these intelligence agencies, they don't have a trace of this guy. I thought that was quite interesting. Well, some people may say, well, it was the government. The government created it. That doesn't make sense because this system actually disrupts the government. This system actually disrupts banks. This system actually disrupts the order and structure that was going on where governments and banks control the money. Now, the people can control the flow of their own money. They can send money to one another. They can send value to one another without any trusted third party, without any regulator, without any bank, without any financial institution, a total game changer, okay? So with this technology now, it has created quite a nervous situation with governments because now they feel like each individual could have a bank right on their phone. Each individual has the capability of being a bank now. This is a powerful, powerful, powerful technology, and I'm all in because I'm for the freedom of money. Money being freed up. Could you guys mute your phones? Let me see. When you come in, let me see here. Mute. Yeah, so this is what this movement is all about. It's about a decentralized movement. It's about money being able to move free. It's about people being able to move free with their money and not be regulated on every dime in their life. And it's a fight to the death right now. It's actually a fight because those that control don't want to see you be able to move your money freely without them watching and monitoring and taxing every dime that you have. Now, it's funny that everything that you own, someone feels like they have right to that. It's funny that everything that your brain creates and any idea that you come with that creates millions of dollars, there's someone that feels like you owe them for that. This is the system that we live in. And I don't believe that. I think that every human being has the right to be free and move free and to do as he or she is willed to do by God himself. So with this technology, it is a battle to me between the forces of good and the forces of evil. There's no cut on it. It's just light and darkness. There's good and evil. There's that's it. That's all it is. It's the polarities have existed in this universe since the beginning of time. There's positive and negative. There's yin and yang. We can go on and on. That's cause and effect. There's action and reaction. We can go on and on. But at the same time, like I said, the reason I put the picture behind me today is I feel like we're on a journey. And we created the Family Cash Machine for the sole purpose around this technology to teach more people about the mindset that they're in and to come up out of that mindset and understand a free mindset. And I kind of feel like people are more in kind of a bondage. They're more in a bondage type of mindset when it comes to money and when it comes to transactions. If I go somewhere right now and I take someone and they need to send $100 and the person asks them, okay, well, we need your ID, we need your social, we need your mother's maiden name, we need your fingerprint, we need some fingernails, and we need some eyelashes. They'll probably give that person everything they need to transact that money, because this is how we're conditioned to think. That money is captive, and therefore for me to send money, I have to disclose everything and who I am and what I am. In order to free that transaction, I have to enslave myself by divulging all my information. We don't even think anymore. It's just done. Okay? And this is the way it was done. It's no options. Now there is. Technology has given us options. Me and Dave have saw $100,000 moved on the blockchain within seconds, and there was not even a name. There was not even a person. It just went to a wallet. And it only cost 50 or 60 cents at that time to move that kind of money. And it happened within seconds. Okay? Now, some people will say, well, that's dangerous. You can't do that because people are criminals. You can't tell me that 90% of the world are criminals. I won't believe that. Everybody in the world is not criminals. There's always going to be a criminal element to the world. It's been that way since the Bible. There's always going to be people that do wrong. But we can't penalize the whole world because a few people choose to do wrong. And we can't stifle technology just for a few people who may do wrong, or just to keep the people in control who have controlled the world for so many years. No, it's time now for people to understand what money is, how money works, and how they have the power to create their own currency, create their own value. It's being done every day. Now, these idiots that come on the internet and say, oh, Dave Lyons, what are you doing, man? This is not going to work. You can't do that. You know, you have to have the government. The government has to tax you. The government has to do this. The government has to do that in order for this to work. Who says so? Because Bitcoin has went from zero to now $12,000, $11,000 without the permission of a government, without the permission of a bank, without the permission of a credit card company, Federal Reserve, or any of these entities. So this is the whole plight of this journey. And the Family Cash Machine is created to teach individuals, local individuals, anybody who wants to learn about cryptocurrency, about decentralization, not centralization. Because a cryptocurrency that is linked to one system is not really a cryptocurrency, it's a digital currency. There is a difference. What is the difference in cryptocurrency and digital currency? Well, a digital currency is just a currency that's digitized, but it's all monitored through one person. It's all created through one system. Okay, it's all distributed through one system. And the value of it comes from one system. That's a centralized system, and they have accountability to every and each individual that has that coin. They can tell you every person's name, social, address, and have a picture of each individual that possessed that coin. That is considered a centralized system. But a system that is decentralized is a system where the people create the coins. There's not one source to create the coin. The people mine the coins and bring the coins into existence and solve the complex mathematical algorithms on their own computers. And anybody could do it. The people create the transactions, perform transactions, validate transactions, and validate the fact that no coins have been double spent. The people verify all the transactions. And there's no name, there's no socials, there's just numbers. It's all encrypted. That is a decentralized system where it has no center point where it can be cut off or stopped. Wow. That's the world that we're in right now. And technology has pretty much exploded the boundaries of authorities and exploded the boundaries of regulators. And so you would have to be an idiot today to volunteer and relinquish your rights of freedom in financing, and freedom to be financially free, and the freedoms to be financially independent and financially successful independently. You would have to be an idiot to relinquish that right and volunteer to financial slavery in a system of technology that has now exploded those boundaries. Okay, and this is what we do here. We're teaching people about this new technology, and we're teaching people about this blessing that we've received from mathematics and from the evolution of mankind's mindset. We've now evolved, and technology has evolved, and we've evolved the technology to where now everybody could pretty much create their own wealth. Wow. And it's quite different than the system that we're in, where wealth is kind of like selected and picked out who's going to make it and who's not, unless you guys have a tremendous idea like a Facebook or something like that. And it's pretty much monitored who's going to be super successful. And if you are super successful, you're going to pay almost half of that away in regulators and stuff like that. So that system is kind of abolished now based on technology, unless you want to stay in that system. So the family cash machine, you guys, is on a journey. Do you guys see that universe behind me? Do you know how limitless that is? Do you know how many billions of stars there are? It's so many billions of stars. They said that the universe could be quintillions of years, okay, wide. I mean, that's crazy. You would have to travel the speed of light for quintillions of years to reach the boundaries of the universe. I mean, it's just limitless. And this is how our thoughts have to be when it comes to our possibilities and capabilities. We can't limit ourselves, and we can't let other people and industries or financial institutions or banks or governments, we can't allow that to limit who we are and what we do. We have to be limitless in our thoughts, limitless in our vision and our objectives. The Family Cash Machine has created a vision that I haven't seen most people even think about. And we're talking about generational wealth. We're talking about not just wealth, generational wealth. And we see the limitlessness that this industry offers people who come into this industry with the mindset that they're going to accumulate wealth through disruption. Wow. What is disruption? Disruption happens all the time, and disruption creates a redistribution of wealth. The first time I saw this in my life was with, what was it? Napster. Napster was the first one that I really witnessed a major disruption. Okay, it was a major disruption, and it closed down a lot of music industry people. It closed down a lot of mom and pop record stores, and it actually disrupted the artists, the record labels who had a stronghold on distribution. This technology, digital technology, majorly disrupted this industry, okay? Majorly. And it redistributed wealth into those that were on the side of Napster or who were digitally downloading and pirating records and stuff like that. These people now were making money. There were people making $1,000 a day, $500 a day selling burnt CDs because of digital technology. It was a major disruption, okay? Disruption means redistribution. Let's think of it that way. Disruption means major redistribution, because wealth is never destroyed. It's only transferred to different hands. And these are things that we never were taught. We never were taught this stuff. We just sat back as a people and just watched disruption after disruption after disruption after disruption, and we're just consuming, and never asking the questions, why? If we just asked a simple question, why, how, who, what, it'll elevate our minds to a whole different level to start positioning ourselves to be on the side of the disruptors, to catch the redistribution of wealth. We never think like this. And we're not going to miss this one. How about that? We're not going to miss this one. The Family Cash Machine is created so our people, common people, Black, Mexican, Hispanic, poor, white, we don't care. Average people who are not the executive board of JP Morgan, who are not the executive board of Microsoft, average people could position themselves to catch the redistribution of wealth from this technology that's getting ready to disrupt dozens of industries. Wow. This is the lesson. This is the journey. Is the journey going to be easy, Armani? I don't think so. Is the journey going to be worth it, Winslow? Yes, sir. It's going to be worth it, for sure. But you got to first have vision. You have to first be able to see it. And don't let anybody come in your path and tell you you're not going to be successful, because you're on time. You guys are on time for this disruption. And things are happening so perfectly for you right now. It's incredible. Everybody's talking about, oh, the market just crashed. The market crashed. It's bubbled out. Yay, I'm happy. Because we needed to slow down so the Fam Wealth Network could breathe. We need to restructure the Fam Wealth Network so we can start getting people in position who didn't have $700, $800, $900. They can get in now with $500, $400. You can get in the Fam Wealth Network and you can make 580% times on your money in Bitcoins. Before Bitcoin is unreachable for the average person, you can get in now, and the market has been stalled for you. Can't you see that? Everything is working to your advantage. If you're on the side of light, if you're on the side of right, if you're on the side of the disruptors, you're going to be in a great position if you can see it, if you have the vision to see it. No matter if the market go up, down, because we know this technology is one of the greatest technologies that have been created since the internet. This technology has the ability to disrupt money. The most valuable product in the world is money. I don't care if you're Jewish. I don't care if you're Muslim. I don't care if you're Hebrew. I don't care if you're Palestinian, if you're black, if you're white, if you're Indian. I don't care if you're a Buddhist. It doesn't matter. We all have one thing as a common denominator: money. Money is the thing we all have in common. It is the universal language. And that's getting ready to be disrupted. It doesn't get any bigger disruptions than that. That's the biggest disruption in the world ever in the history of the world, when now we have a system that is burning like an inferno and crashing, okay? And from the ashes of that burnt civilization and that methodology and that philosophy of finance and money comes the phoenix, the rebirth of a new idea. And that's why on the Family Cash Machine, we created, me and Dave Lyons, the first free position. It's called the Phoenix, because it represents resurrection. It represents a new birth, a new system that comes out of something that's burned up, destroyed. Ashes means that it has dissolved all of its nutrients. It doesn't have any more usefulness at all. It's ashes. And you got so many silly people out there that still got faith in the ashes. It's funny, man. They just rooting on it to come back, you know. They rooting on you guys to fail. You got some of your own people rooting on you guys to fall on your face and fail, when they don't understand that this system is to their benefits and their children benefit, and they have an opportunity now to grab some of that wealth for themselves. And as I say all the time, the statistics show that less than 1,500 people in the world are billionaires. 7 billion people in the world. Just look at that number, man. Mathematics will tell you everything. Anything you need to know, just go to the mathematics. Mathematics is all throughout that universe behind me. Everything consists of mathematics. This earth is spinning at 1,000 miles an hour. You can't get around that. It stays at that for thousands of millions of years because of the power of light. Light hitting the sun on its axis makes the sun to move. We're going to get on the Family Cash Machine the light, the knowledge of money. And with that knowledge and that light, it's going to make you move. It's going to make you move in a divine order that's in the benefit of you and your family. Okay? And it's independent. And this is the whole thing we're teaching, is that we're not really trying to talk against other companies out there that are marketing, that are doing network marketing things and taking people's money and holding it for 220 days or 160 days. That's not the point. We're not trying to badmouth these companies, because I was a member in these companies at one time. What we're doing on the Family Cash Machine is teaching you guys how to independently maneuver with your own money and be the sole producer. And be the person that understands trends. Be the person that controls your money, and you're making 5% a day, 7% a day, 20% a day on your own money, and you can move it, grab it, spend it, buy more coin, do what you want, how you want, without any company regulating you, without any third party. That's what this is about. We're teaching you guys how to trust no one but yourself and God and your vision, wow, and mathematics. That's what this is all about. The trust factor is gone. We can't trust people with money anymore. Because, like they said, money is not the root of all evil, but it's the love of money. It is the desire of money and the desire for a person to be successful. They don't care if they got to step all over you. And this is why we're using a system, an autonomous system of mathematics that automatically calculates, and the people could look at all the transactions. Therefore, if you have light on everything, how can you be beat? How can you be cheated? How can you be deceived when everybody can see everything that's moving? You have total light. That's what cryptocurrency is about. It's about not trusting the banks. The banks take your money, invest your money, and they give you hell to get your money out of the bank. They make all kinds of excuses of why you can't get your money. Well, you can only get this much, or we don't have that much, or you got to do this, you got to sign this, you got to fill this out. And they ask you questions about your own money. Why? Because they want to keep your money. And if you have transactions going in your bank, if you got 1,000 coming in every day, and you go take out 1,000 every day, they will shut your account down. It's my money. Why do I have to let my money sit so you can use it and make profits on it, but you don't want to give me no profits? You give me 1/10 of 1% a year on my money. I might as well put on a dress, a skirt, and some high heels and pumps, because in my definition, that's pimping. To the highest pimptivity, you know, 1/10 of 1% a year. Not even 1%. Okay, now if I got $1 million and I put it in the bank, you're going to give me 1/10 of 1%. 1/10 of 1%. I think I can make more money than that with my money. I think I'm smart enough to make at least 25% on that $1 million in a year. I think I'm smart enough to make at least 10% of my, on at least $100,000. With $2 million, I think I can make $200,000. 10% of my money. I think I'm smart enough to generate that with $2 million. What about you, Cravadas? Do you think you can generate $200,000, 10% on $2 million in 1 year? Do you think you could do that if you had that kind of spending power? I think so. They're giving you 1/10 of 1%, man. That's like a slap in the face. Okay? And then when you walk in the bank, they harass you like they're doing you a favor. You know, and it's funny because when I walk in the bank and I watch people, I just watch people. I don't say anything. And I watch people go to the bank. Hi, how you doing? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Hi, Miss Carter. Oh, yes. Hey, how's your Christmas? And, you know, and I watch them talk to these tellers like they're in a county line. You're going to get your money. But you're going in there, and I mean, I can understand being nice. Don't get it wrong. There's a difference from being nice and kissing up. I understand the difference. I see the difference. And they go in there and they talk to these people that work in the bank almost like they're begging them for their money. Like, this is crazy, man. It's a mindset. You understand what I'm saying? They're going in there like they're doing you a favor. These people are walking all over you. They're taking your money. They're going on Forex. They're going to their good old boys on Microsoft. They play golf with the Microsoft executives. They get tips on how these companies are going to move. The bank execs and the corporate execs, they play golf together. They know how to trade, what the company is doing, and the projections of the company. They invest your money in all of that stuff. It's a cold game, man. And then everybody walking around like dodos and don't even ask the question why, what, how. And this is what the Family Cash Machine is doing. We're forcing the people to question the system, okay? We're not telling you to rebel. We're just telling you, do for yourself. Do for yourself. Because you're not going to cheat you. You're not going to beat you. You're not going to deceive you. And you're not going to use you, okay? These systems are created to use you. So now with the knowledge, you can start independently creating your own momentum. Wow. With no hindrance. and without anybody else benefiting from your hard work. Okay? That's what the Family Cash Machine is about. We want to teach you guys how to position yourself. There's people getting into this industry with less than $100 and making thousands of dollars. There's people getting into this industry right now with $100 making $12,000. We got one on the phone now. $12,000 off $100,000. There's 12, 13 people on the Family Cash Machine that are well into 6 digits now. And they came on this call, they started learning about money. They started learning about cryptocurrency. They started learning about blockchain. They started learning about all these different companies that were creating all these functionalities for all these different demands that we have in society. And they put their money where their mouth was at, and they sat back and bam, they started having money. They took risk, but they did not just take a chance. They learned this industry to a point where the risk was calculated. It wasn't a risky risk, because the more you learn, the less you eliminate risk. Knowledge is power. The more you learn, the less it's a risk, okay? Anything is a risk, but I'm saying the more you learn, the less the risk factor, okay? Because now you're calculating on mathematical knowledge of things that you've learned. So again, the Family Cash Machine is a journey. This is a journey that we created, and it's an exciting journey. I'm excited to have young men like Bitcoin Armani on his team. He's in his young 20s. And if I could have learned this kind of knowledge in the 20s, oh my God, it would have been, woo, my God. I'm just telling you, I might be a multi-billionaire right now, because nobody taught me about money. I had to learn by losing money, okay? I lost millions of dollars to learn money. That's a hell of an expensive lesson. And most of us never touch millions of dollars. So we're learning by default. We're learning by error, by losing, by loss, by pain, by suffering. Now we're teaching people before they go through the pain and anguish of losing money. We're teaching people the rules of money, what money is, what currency is, the difference in money and currency, how value is created, the difference in decentralized and centralized systems. This is something nobody teaches you in school. You don't learn this in school. There's no way you're going to get this in school. I just saw the other day with Dave Lyons, we were on a website looking for different words that we were going to use to drive traffic to our website. And guess who popped up? Princeton. Princeton is teaching cryptocurrencies, but I guarantee you they're not really teaching the power of decentralization. They're teaching you what it is, but they're not teaching you how to use it and manipulate it and leverage it in a way to become independent. You go to Princeton and you get that degree in cryptocurrency, you get that certificate, then you go right back to the job market and say, hire me. When people on the Family Cash Machine are coming into this industry with $100, $200, $1,000 and becoming wealthy. So they're not teaching you how to independently position yourself. That's what we're teaching on the Family Cash Machine, not just get in this industry and make some money. No, it's about the knowledge. It's about generational wealth. It's about how are we going to perpetuate this for the next 10 years. I guarantee you, most of the people on this call in a year's time, if they're not at $1 million, they'll be close to it. They'll be over $500,000 if they follow the restraints of what we're teaching you guys. Me and Dave counted almost, between me and you, Dave, how much do you think we missed on the things that we didn't capitalize on? Now, we made some money last year, but there's some things that we didn't do right. And not because we didn't do them right, we just didn't do them because we're so busy doing so other stuff. How much do you think we missed out on last year, Dave, between me and you?
About $500,000.
About $500,000.
What?
No shit. Excuse me. About $500,000. I think Dave counted. I counted about 300,000. What did you count, Dave? About 200 or something, right?
Yeah, I counted like 250.
Okay, now we made money this year, no question about it. We did make money, but I'm saying we're looking at the dot the I's, cross the T's, all the stuff that we know. We didn't capitalize on everything we know. We capitalized on about 50% of the things we knew, but there's about 50% that we didn't capitalize on because we got distracted, because we have good hearts and we want to help people. And people pulled us to the left, pulled us to the right, pulled us over here, pulled us over there, and then we were getting pulled so much to where we kind of neglected ourselves. And it's okay, because that's the pureness of our hearts to help people. But at the same time, we got to get a little more organized this year because I can't leave $500,000 on the table. Now, could you imagine if we'd have made that $500,000, where we'll be at right now with the knowledge that we have in this industry? See, this is the thing. People get money acting. And I'm noticing that the average person, especially in the African-American community, we mainly are entertainers. Whether we rapping, whether we playing football, basketball, or singing, or acting, or comedy, it's still entertainment. And we don't think that we can make money with our brains. And I think you can make more money with your brains than you can entertaining. The first black millionaire in America was Reginald Lewis. He was not an entertainer. This guy bought Beatrice Foods. He owned Beatrice Foods. He made his money with his mind, okay? So what I'm saying is we got to learn that this can make more money than anything you can do because you're only going to be funny for so long. Your rap only going to be hot for so long. You're only going to be able to jump for so long. You're only going to be able to run for so long. And you may not be able to act for so long. It depends if you get blackballed or whatever, or whiteballed or whatever you want to call it. But you may not be hot too long as an actor, unless you're Denzel or Samuel. But I'm saying your brain could work until you're 90 if you keep it active, okay? So again, we're teaching you guys the knowledge. So let's say LeBron gets $50 million. If he doesn't have the knowledge, he'll lose it. Ivan Iverson is an example. This man went through $100 and something million and then went broke. Okay? Evander Holyfield, he had people in his corner investing money and stuff, but he's a boxer. He really wasn't learning a lot of economics. He was trying to do real estate and stuff like that. He had a lot of real estate, car lots and stuff. And when the real estate market crashed, you know, he crashed. And then he had some baby mama dramas and all kind of other stuff. But I pulled him up recently. He's worth $500,000. Me and Dave left $500,000 on the table last year, and nobody really knows us as to the extent of Evander Holyfield. This man he probably went through about $200, $300 million. Broke. I'm saying to you, somebody on the Family Cash Machine makes 10 million, 50 million, 100 million. It's going to happen in the next 5 years. And they got the knowledge of this technology and where it's going, and the knowledge of money, the knowledge of trust funds, the knowledge of generational wealth. Oh my God. It's over. Because you didn't get your money jumping and running and laughing and screaming and rapping. Not knocking those people. I'm just saying you got yours with this and understanding the money and the dynamics of money. So what are you going to do when you get the money? See, you're going to keep generating more money. You're going to keep, creating more streams of income in this industry. That's what the Family Cash Machine is about. Now, of course, each and every one of you are going to go through spending money. It's a phase. And I want to tell you guys that now, and I want you guys to remember I said this. When you get millions of dollars, you're going to go through the jewelry phase. You're going to go through the car phase. You're going to go through the clothes phase. You're going to go through phases of having money. It's just a part of it. Get that out your system real quick. Okay? Always look at what you're spending and what you're making. Make a point every month to write down what you're spending and what you're making. Because if you don't see it, it get away from you. You got to see it. You got to physically be able to look at it. And then you're going to say, whoa, I spent a little bit too much this month. I need to hold back a little bit. I got enough money. I'm cool and everything, but a little bit too much got away from me last month. See, you got to be able to optically see it with your eyes. What's going out, what's coming in. Make a point to look at your books every week or every month. I would say every week. Because people that look at their money every week and know what's coming in and what's going out, them is the people that keep money for a long time. The problem with most of us commoners, we don't look at what we got going out. We know what we're making. You know what your check is. You know what's coming in. But you're not really looking at everything that's going on. When bills come, you just pay them. You're not really sitting down and looking at What's going in, what's going out every month. Write it down. This is the kind of stuff we're going to teach you guys on this team. Right now, we haven't got to that because we're still creating the momentum. We're creating the system and the platform for you guys to make the kind of money that I know is going to be made. Me and Dave working on these classes now, they're coming together brilliantly. A lot of people need to know what we know. A lot of people want to learn what we know. We're not wasting no time trying to drag nobody to the water that don't want to drink. But there's a lot of people that are curious and want to know about money, cryptocurrency, and how they can win, how they can change their life, why their lives are so messed up and miserable, why they struggling, why they living check to check. People want to know. They want answers, man. And we're going to start teaching them what's wrong and how to solve this problem by positioning yourself to catch some of this wealth, just disrupting and creating momentum for a lot of people, okay? So this is what we're about on the Family Cash Machine, and the Family Cash Machine is created to work together as a unit. We're creating momentum together. I mean, it's a beautiful thing to make money with Dave. It's a beautiful thing to make money with Armani. It's a beautiful thing to see Antonio when he starts to cycle. Miss Jackie, I'm just going to be chills in my body when they start cycling and they start reaping the benefits of the seeds that they sowing right now. See, the problem with the world right now, everybody want it right away. Everybody want it right now. It's like, I need to happen now. But that's not how real success comes. Real success comes through patience and hard work and a constant vision of an objective. When you have that vision and that focus of that objection, and you're like a racehorse. You ever seen the racehorses? They put these little things on their eyes, okay? Now, they got the ability to get you to the end of your race, but they got to block them out from distractions. And that's kind of how we are right now. We got to go hard, and we got to block ourselves out from distractions because I see it. This thing here is a beast. This whole technology is a monster. And if you guys are watching what I'm watching, you're seeing all these companies developing all these new technologies with the blockchain and with all these other decentralized technologies. You're like, wow. You can see the future. You can see robotics coming. You can see cars coming that's driving people and people not driving the car. You can see all of that if you understand this technology. That's where we're going. All the movies you guys are watching with the futuristic stuff, that's coming through this technology. So, hey, I'm in with my pocketbook, with my wallet. I'm coming in with my wallet, and I'm dropping my dime on the future. Bam. Oh, what? Ethereum, blockchain for everybody? Dropping my dime on it. Oh, what? NIM, a decentralized notary? Bam, I'm dropping my dime on that. Oh, what? Smart contracts where now people can don't have to use title companies or lawyers or, oh man, it's going to be all autonomous. Bam, I'm dropping my dime on that. I think that's a great investment. So this is what this technology is about. It's all futuristic, but you got to learn it. You don't have to be a technological guru, because when you come on the Family Cash Machine, one thing we do is we simplify all of this stuff for you guys. And we're not going to teach too much about investing on this call, but we're going to create that on the Family Cash website. On the Family Cash Machine website, we will have an investment class. We will have a class breaking down all these technologies to you. We don't want to do it on this call because this call is just to get people interested, and it's just to create the whole platform of the Family Cash Machine, which is all of us coming together under an umbrella to position ourselves for generational wealth through cryptocurrency, blockchain technology, and understanding the difference between decentralized, centralized systems, and remaining to stay anonymous, okay? And remaining to stay in positions to capitalize off of all the technologies that's coming out. I'm so happy and excited that I'm a technology investor. That's what I say. Hey, I'm a technology investor. How am I going to lose? How are you going to lose on technology? How are you going to lose investing on technology? I don't know how. I don't know how you're going to lose, because technology is the thing that's thriving and driving us to the future. And that's what this is all about. And I'm just excited to have everybody on this call, because there's so many different people from different walks of life that add to this ingredients that we're putting together and this big pot that we're making of successful people. And it's just a wonderful thing. And again, you guys, I'm going to be getting more information to you guys about when the site will be ready with all the educational classes. We're putting them together as fast as we can, and we're going to make sure that they're juicy. They got a lot of information, and we're giving information that nobody out there is teaching people in accord to cryptocurrencies. We're teaching it in a way nobody's teaching it, okay? And we're not wavering from this, and we're going to also teach you guys some wealth along with this in the courses. You'll get a little bit of everything, but you're definitely going to understand cryptocurrency, blockchain technology, and all the other technologies that are coming together that's creating this future, this beautiful future for people who see it and understand it. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and close out. And I'm going to ask you guys, I want to ask a few people right now. And I'm going to do something different. I want to ask, let me ask Winslow. Winslow, are you available to talk?
Yeah. What's up?
Let me ask you, man, a question. What do you see yourself? What do you see coming out of this for you, this family cash machine journey?
Knowledge, wealth. I've truly been deprogrammed. I'm like, not deprogrammed. I've been everything that I thought I knew. You know where I'm going with this. Everything that I thought I knew, I truly did not know.
Wow.
It really, I've really understood a lot more about fiat currency, a lot more about how the world operates, about the central banks. And it's funny because my dad works for the World Bank.
Wow.
And, and just knowing some of the things that I know from that, it's just real interesting to see. Now I understand it more from the side of looking at, I guess looking at it in a rebellious state, but it's really not a rebellious state. Just understanding it and just knowing that everything that they told us, that they tell us is a mode of or a means of control.
Wow.
I don't feel controlled right now. I don't. I really don't. So, I mean, it's truly, if anything, I will say number one is knowledge. Number two is going to be a mass of wealth that I'm going to create for myself and my family or generations to come, because it's wide open. And all the things that I hear, and even what you were talking yesterday, and we've been talking over the last couple of days about the negative things that people are saying and that the media is saying and everything like that, that is another program state that the what's the word that you use? You use the
rhythmic.
Oh God, rhythmic. There you go. Yes,
rhythmic.
Exactly, and I feel like I'm broken from that because now I question everything.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to, okay, well, this is what it is. I guess I got to go with it. No, I don't.
I'm proud of you, man. You come a long way just listening to you talk from the time you came to this team. And your understanding is definitely expanding. And, man, let's just keep this thing going. And let's keep getting new people to understand. It's more about the people for me than it is money. Because myself and Dave Lyons and Strategic, man, we could have just kept this to ourselves and made money. With the knowledge, just made money, and not worried about anybody. So obviously that's not my goal or the sole purpose that I'm here. I want to make sure because there's enough wealth to go around. We're talking about hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of trillions of dollars being redistributed, man. This is massive. Okay, there's $50 trillion a day moved on Forex every day. $50 trillion a day, every day. There's so much money in the world controlled by a small group of people. This is the problem. So now with in a small group of corporations. So now it's getting ready to be moved around. And some of the corporations, I'm not mad at them. They're repositioning themselves like Google and Microsoft. They trying to get in position to catch some of that wealth. And I'm not mad at them. But it's moving so fast, they're not going to catch it all. So this is why I'm mobilizing the people to position themselves to catch some of it and change your family's lives. Because there's a guy, I think there was a story of 50 Cent sold some of his records or some of his music for some Bitcoins.
I just posted that link.
Okay, you did?
Yeah, I just posted a link in the chat. Yeah.
How much money did he find out that he had?
Was it 8 million, I think, or 10 million?
How much music did he sell?
God, hold on. Can
anybody tell me how much music was it that he sold? Just put it to you this way. In 2013, if you would have spent $1,000 on Bitcoin, okay, when it dropped from $1,200 all the way down to like $100 or $150, if you'd have spent $1,000 on Bitcoins in 2013, you would have right now $8 million. And this is why I'm telling you guys, it's a great exchange of wealth. If you'd have spent $1,000 just last year on Ant shares, which is now NEO, you would have $500,000. If you'd have spent $2,000 last year on Ant shares, you would have $1 million. So this is a huge, huge exchange of wealth going down, man. This is some real stuff. You know, so people hear us and they be like, that's full crap. Well, ain't nobody gonna make that kind of money that quick. People make millions every day. What are you talking about? Millionaires are made every single day. And we need to be one of them. That's how we think it. Somebody makes a million every day. Go ahead, Winslow.
In the article, it doesn't say how many albums that he sold, but it does say that it netted him 700 Bitcoins. So however many albums that he sold and however many people purchased out with Bitcoin, it netted him 700 Bitcoins.
What year was it that he did that?
That was 2014.
That's when Bitcoin was $200.
Yes.
Bitcoin was $200. He bought 700 Bitcoins. Okay, so that's what? $1,400? Come on, man. We got to do some math here. What's 200 times 700?
That's 1,400. That's 14,000. Yes.
$14,000. Okay, turned into what? How much millions?
That's 100. We said 200 times 700. That's 140,000.
140,000. 700 times 200.
Yep.
I don't know why my brain is not working. That's 140,000. $140,000 in music turned into $8 million. A lot of people had $140,000 worth of assets or products. You could have sold your house for 700 Bitcoins and rented and still been 8-9 million. So this is very attainable, man. This is not like this is unattainable. Some people say, oh, well, I don't have $140,000. Well, guess what? Like I said, there are people when Bitcoin first started who spent $1,000 on Bitcoins, 10 cents, they end up making $8 million. There are companies right now yes, I seen Kravitz look crazy. Like, what? Yeah, there's stories of a guy, Yugoslavian guy, who spent $27 on Bitcoins when it first started at 10 cents. And he cashed that in 2013. He bought it in 2009. He cashed it in 2013 for $899,000. $27. There's companies right now that you can buy for that cheap that may have the value that Bitcoin is at right now. So it's very possible, man. This is not no, happy pie in the sky type of stuff we're talking about. This is very attainable right now, what we're talking about. $1,000 last year would have made you $88,000 today. It's 1,000. Some people don't make $88,000 in a whole year. So again, the kind of stuff that we're talking about on the Family Cap Machine, we're not just talking. We actually are in an industry that has the capability of making us all very wealthy. We just got to keep learning and keep investing. Keep learning, keep investing. And stay in a circle of people who have information that can add on to what you're learning and can add on to, the factors in your investments. So we all can be making sure we're investing in the right companies that's going to make the right results that we're looking for. And they're out there. It's a bunch of them out there. Hey, let me ask you, Bitcoin Armani, I just got off the phone with Bitcoin Armani, and I'm going to close this call out. Could you tell them give me 3 things, 3 goals that you have in the future, financially and spiritually. 3 goals that you have in the Family Cash Machine that you expect to get out of this journey with us.
3 goals. My first goal would have to be in a position to help people learn this space. And, I've always been naturally the one to want to help people teach and teach and share things that I know. So I know that that's one of my goals. And then 2 is to continue to learn, from like-minded people that got the same drive, and, be able to learn how to build with people. Another one of my goals is to basically build my portfolio in a way that, of course, that I can profit, and then 2, so that I can help other people. So I want to give in the way that, it's not going to affect me or anything that I've put to work and established. But I still do want to have that aspect where, for a lot of people, they need to see it. Mm-hmm. And then, so sometimes you got to put your own money into that, and I want to make sure that that's a goal that I can do. And then be able to basically spiritually be that, because I'm the oldest of my mother's 5 children. Okay. So, I've been motivated to be in a position that I can lead. And, spiritually, that's my calling. So I want to be in that position. And I know that definitely is attached to the resources that you have, that you're able to create. And I see that it's endless in this industry. So I really feel that, and I'm motivated every day and, to work towards those goals. And then basically, I believe in that it'll create generational wealth. So then, my brothers will see that. They're going to want to do it. The people that, I talk to my friends, a lot of my people, they know that how I am. I'm very positive, and I try to tell people what they can do instead of what they can't do. And this right here, this is one of those things where they like, God has allowed you to be in a position where your light can shine, like they say, so that other people can see it. So then they're gonna be like, what is he on? You know what I'm saying? And then that's when they want to listen to you. When I've always wanted to share this with you in the first place, but it is hard for people to try to, take what we're making, turn it into a goal, or, sit down and learn it, because it's intimidating. But I feel like this is something, that I've been geared for. So I'm like, okay, cool. This is my thing. I'm motivated to make YouTube videos. I'm motivated to, create content, because I know that as I'm learning it, I'm sharing it, so that I'm not even really doing anything. It's not like I'm posting and, I was working hard to do things that I did. I shoot photography, and, just kind of like it wasn't a part of me, in a way that posting on the Instagram and all that, it felt like a job. So I feel like with this, I'm like naturally into Twitter, naturally, sharing information that I come across. And that is going to turn into itself, me teaching, me helping people. And, then they'll be able to see the things that were afforded for me actually applying myself. And I'm grateful that, I was looking for a way, because like I shared with E on the call before this. I started when I was 17. My mom was like, you got to go. Kind of typical thing. It was a lot of us in the house. And I always wanted to say, because you can't go back to schools and try to say, oh, don't sell drugs and this and that. You know what I mean? But I was like, I can't sell drugs, and I can't be robbing and stealing to make my way. So I worked 2 and 3 jobs. I saved. But at the time, I didn't have anything. I didn't have any mentors or anybody to help show me, the way or what I should invest. So I ran through that money. And now I understand at this level. I'm still young, but I still understand how to respect that. And so now it's game over for me, because, I learned how to save, you know what I mean? And we're going to build momentum. Like, he always say the momentum, and that's just going to come natural. So you're going to show people here, this is how you sign up, this is how you do that, this is how you do that. And when they make their own, they're going to want to share it. It's going to keep going and going and going. To be, in a position where we're innovators, or we're, in the beginning stages, and we understand, that's powerful. So I want to be in a position of leadership and power to lead it back to what we're supposed to be doing. Because, even though the world is messed up the way it is, there's people in position that want it that way. So we're gonna change that with the power, and the power is in the money and in the, you know, the people. So they're gonna see that, and that's what it is for me, and that's gonna happen. Like I said, I shared on a call that I went back to working because that's what I know. Because the people I thought that were gonna jump right in a cycler with me, they didn't do that. So I said, all right, cool. Like, I'll make that up in the way that I know, and I'm gonna take my fiat currency. This is my mentality. So I don't even call it a job anymore. I call it a financial stimulant. I changed it because I figured like this is what's gonna give me the opportunity to put into these stocks. Especially now, everything dropped, but you know, this is our introduction. So you know, irregardless of what the people around me do or how they believe, I'm still gonna apply myself. And it's, you know what I'm saying, it's a lot of innovation, and it's endless opportunities just in you know, the blockchain or whatever else in itself. But I was just thinking like this is a whole new thing. The whole world is gonna be, you know, everything's going to switch over. You're getting coffee or whatever, you know, it's going to be cryptocurrency attached to it. So this is a big deal. You know what I mean?
Hey, man, I'm proud of you, man. That's a young man you guys heard. He's in his 20s. And I'm so proud of him because he has vision, and he's a born leader. You know, he's a very intelligent young man. I love talking to Bitcoin Armani. I learned a lot from him as well as him learn from me. We learn from each other. He's from a younger generation, so I learned a lot from him as far as where the generation mindset is, but he's way ahead in his age group as far as this technology, and he's positioning himself to be a leader because I told you guys, each and every one of you guys, whether you want to or not, you're going to be a leader because you're positioning yourself. When this wealth as this wealth is coming and you guys are investing, it's going to catapult you into a position of money and power and leadership, whether you want it or not. Okay, it's gonna happen. So this is why we talk the way we talk about mindset and vision and stuff like that, because I know the money is coming to you guys. You guys are already in positions, and there's several people on our team that already made some money, okay, some hundreds of thousands, and they're in the next year, I mean, that universe is the limit for them. They could be in the millions of dollars. And so without the proper knowledge and understanding, they can lose it all. But I'm just thankful and fortunate that they got their money in learning about money. So I don't think that's going to be the case for them because they didn't just, you know, jump and bounce a basketball. But Bitcoin Armani, I'm proud of you, man. Keep doing what you're doing. You're still in your 20s, and I'm so thankful that you got men here around you to help you and guide you in becoming the man that you're going to become, and the father and the husband. I mean, you're going to be a good husband for some woman. She's going to be lucky to have somebody like you that understands how to produce, and you have your own independent mind. You're not rhythmically hypnotized by the media and all this other stuff or what people say money is. You really understand what money is, and you're out here positioning yourself. Now, he made a point that we just endured a dip. We endured a dip in everything in the family cash machine as well as this industry because of negative media projection and stuff like that, and people who are like they said, hypnotized by media coverage. But guess what? Watch what the millionaires and billionaires are doing as the media is propaganding all of this stuff. They're grabbing more cryptocurrency and they're creating more companies. So why are they doing that? Because they know that you can only lie so long, and then eventually the technology is going to evolve and it's going to be gravitated towards, because there's a demand for this stuff that people don't even realize the demand is there because they don't know what it is. So that's what's going on. But with that, you guys, we're going to go ahead and get off the call. And Quavaris, I'm glad you came in. And I'd like to work with you personally and get you on board to where we're at and help you understand how, you know, I know you said you already had some Ethereum and a couple other cryptocurrencies. We're going to teach you some more stuff on how to get some other ones. And we definitely want you to get in the family cash machine and join our wealth cycler, where we have this Bitcoin cycler and a software. And we want you to get some of the cryptocurrency classes eventually and join our team. Everybody on this team is going to be grandfathered pretty much in to a lot of stuff that we're going to offer. And then from there, we'll be having other people coming into this team, and they're going to have to probably pay for classes and stuff like that. We just won't have time. It's only so much time in a day to teach people So eventually we're going to have some courses that they'll have to pay for. They'll be very reasonable. We're not going to be too ridiculous with it, but they'll be able to learn and catch up to where everybody else is at and capitalize off what they're learning. We're not just teaching people cryptocurrency and what it is. We're not just going to charge them for classes. We're actually showing them how to make money in this industry, how to get rich quick in this industry. And it's legitimate, and it's going to be here for the next 20, 30 years. And so, or longer. It's going to continue to evolve. Just like the internet started in 1994. It's still here, and it's still evolving. That's the same thing with this technology here. So with that, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and close out. You guys have a great evening. It's the Family Cash Machine. And you guys, peace. See you guys tomorrow.
Cryptocurrency.